going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we are talking about Alien Resurrection. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and if you're talking about movies, TV shows, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we are talking about Alien Resurrection. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now we are on the fourth installment of the Alien franchise with Alien Resurrection. This one was actually much more of a fun watch and experience that I remember or that I was expecting. I actually had a pretty good time with this one, so I definitely want to go into full of my thoughts and stuff like that. But also let me know what you guys thought about Alien Resurrection in the comment section down below. Again, just like all the previous movies, let me know your experience and your enjoyment with the Alien franchise. Are you guys, excited for Alien Romulus? Do you guys not care too much for it? Do you guys not care about the Alien franchise? Do you guys enjoy the Alien franchise? Definitely let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into my pros. And I really just think this movie is a fun time. I think this one definitely leans a little bit more into being kind of a more fun horror movie, where you have a pretty great casting here. Of course, you have Sigourney Weaver coming back, and one thing that I love about this, before I forget, is that I love that this movie is kind of like a big middle finger to Alien 3, where Alien 3 is like, oh, we're killing off Ripley, and Alien Resurrection said, nope, we are bringing her back. So I absolutely love that we got Ripley back, and I think they did a very interesting thing with her character. I enjoy kind of what they did, where we're kind of following about 200 years after Alien 3, where this kind of unsanctioned government facility in space gets samples of her blood, clones her multiple times, trying to find a good host for another alien queen. And she ends up being kind of like a half alien, half human, with having some sort of charm from Ripley, having some of the memories and things from Ripley of the past. She's not actually Ripley, she's just a clone, but kind of possesses all of her memories, her skill sets, and things like that. So I do think that's an interesting thing to do with that character. It is a little weird, of course. Maybe at this point we should have already forgotten about the Ripley character, explored new characters at this point. But if we're going to do something like that, I do enjoy, again, that this one kind of takes a different approach, a different step, goes for something a little bit unique. And for me, in this one, it does succeed a little bit better than the kind of ballsy move that they did in Aliens 3. So I do enjoy what they do with Ripley's character in this movie. On top of that, I also do enjoy, for the most part, all the cast that we get here as well. I think they're all fun. Stuff like Winona Ryder, Brad Dourif, things like that. I think they're all pretty fun characters and interesting characters that make for a very unique group dynamic. They're not all likable, but that's kind of the charm of this group dynamic as well. So I really enjoy all of these new characters that we get introduced to, that kind of go through this really unique, different approach to that alien on board kind of movie, where in the first one, you have this crew that's been around with each other for so long, and now you have this kind of ragtag group that is trying to survive this kind of alien experiment that this unsanctioned government facility has been kind of going through for the past couple of months or so. So it's, again, another fun approach that I actually thoroughly enjoy. Now, this movie is called Alien Resurrection, and Ripley is not the only thing that gets resurrected. Of course, we have the return of the Alien Queen, which I think looks fantastic, like we did see within Aliens. Definitely going back to that practical puppet effect that looks really, really good. I always love how the alien always looks so slimy and just kind of that very sleek look to it, and the more kind of metallic teeth and everything. I think the aliens look very, very good in this movie, probably the best of the franchise. And getting the Alien Queen back is also really awesome. And then once we get towards the third act climax, where we have this kind of skull-looking alien mutant thing between Ripley and an alien, and this seems like another one of those failed experiments that's supposed to have a little bit of Ripley's DNA, and this kind of skull-looking alien sees kind of this clone of Ripley as like a mother figure. I really enjoy the design of that one. To some people that might be a little too much of where they kind of took the alien itself, but I actually really enjoy that whole dynamic. And once you get to the basically the ending of the movie, you actually sympathize for that alien a little bit. It's kind of weird, where you feel sad to see an alien go, because it just evokes so much emotion through this kind of weird face that it has. You can see the emotion in its eyes and the way it kind of screeches and moves around. You see kind of the motion, and you see it also in Ripley, and it's kind of a very emotional moment when you have this kind of whole movie that's supposed to be this kind of horror film. It gets really emotional, and I actually really enjoy the way this movie kind of wraps up and stuff. So it's very unique in what it does with this one. It definitely takes a different step, a different approach. And I think for me, this one works a lot better. And really, I just have fun with this one. This one just seems like more of like an action movie. Like, have you ever seen the movie Doom? I think it's with The Rock is in that movie. Like, it's very old movie called Doom that's based off of the video games that really is a pretty bad video game adaptation. This movie, Alien Resurrection, reminds me of that movie where you're kind of going through these corridors, just trying to kill aliens, survive, and get to the escape pod. It kind of gives me that like old school video game adaptation vibe, and I have fun with that. It's very campy, it's very cheesy, and I have a good time with that for sure. I also really enjoy the set designs. I think this kind of has some of the best set designs within this ship. I really enjoy the shot choices and the directing style. It's a very fast-paced movie, only an hour and 48 minutes, so you're very in and out very, very quickly. So again, this is one of those movies you can pop in, have a good time with, have fun with it, and move on with the Alien franchise. I really, really enjoy this one in the Alien franchise. This is a really good installment for me personally. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the cons. And while I do really enjoy the very goofy nature of this movie, the more kind of campy character choices and directing and stuff like that, I think part of that kind of makes you lose a little bit of the charm of the first two movies and what makes those first two movies so special. This one definitely seems like one of those movies that just got made to bring Ripley back, to get a little bit more excitement in the Alien franchise, kind of a little bit of a cash grab, and make just a very quick, fun movie that doesn't really serve to be like a masterpiece like I believe the first two Alien movies are. This one definitely is a lot more of a turn off your brain, popcorn fun movie, and while that is very fun and can be good at times, again, it doesn't feel like one of those impactful films that you're going to see to be one of your favorites of all time, and why most people probably don't put this as one of their favorites as all time. It's a fun movie, yes, but it loses a little bit of that charm that the first two movies did, and this movie is just kind of can be forgettable at times, but it's still a fun ride. And while I do enjoy what they did with the Ripley character in terms of kind of giving her a little bit of a different approach, I don't know if this is Ripley or Sigourney Weaver herself or the way that it was directed, but she kind of was meant to seem like this person that doesn't care, super badass, has these like super strengths and reactions and stuff like that, and then gets quickly thrown into being like a vulnerable person in from one scene to the next, where we go into like this failed experiments, failed cloning experiments of her, and she gets into this like really big emotional breakdown, and from there on out she doesn't seem like that kind of robot-ish type of person, and now she seems to be very vulnerable towards the end. So it was kind of a weird little switch up at the end. Even though I still enjoy most of that, it still feels a little off with that character. And I guess you can always kind of excuse it for her being a clone and not actually being the actual Lieutenant Ripley. However, it is kind of a little bit of an odd switch how they did that transition in her personality so rapidly. But I think that's going to be it. I mean, this movie is a fun movie, something that I can enjoy, but it's nothing special, not the greatest of the franchise, but it's just something you can definitely pop in, have some fun with, shut your brain off. It's a popcorn movie. Like I said, it feels like a cheesy, bad video game adaptation that's fun. And that's what this movie kind of gives me. That's what this movie's purpose is for me within the Alien franchise. But let me know what you guys thought about this movie in the comment section down below. I would love to hear all of you guys' thoughts. Again, share your excitement for Alien Romulus. But again, if you guys like talking about movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.